Thank you for listening to the Gateway to the Rockies podcast from Visit Aurora from the rafters of the Stanley Marketplace. This is the show dedicated to telling the stories of Aurora, Colorado. Hi there, I'm Dave, the Senior Marketing Manager for Visit Aurora. The week of June 26th, more than 18,000 fast-pitch softball players representing over 1,100 teams descend on the metro area for the 2023 Colorado 4th of July tournament. This marquee event is ran by Triple Crown Sports Tournament Director Stephanie Klaviter. Stephanie, it's so amazing to meet you today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're originally from New Ulm, Minnesota. New Ulm, Minnesota.
Nice. You got to do that, right?
I didn't mean to do that. It just came out naturally. That's roughly 90 miles southwest of the Twin Cities. Even today, the population is under 15,000 people. I imagine that community was very tight-knit. What was it like growing up in that community?
It was so special, and I think just that really has been a core of who I am because of the community that I grew up in, and just that tight-knit feel. Everywhere I go, I look for my community. And that definitely comes from New Ulm. It was a special place.
How were you first introduced to fast pitch softball?
Growing up, farming community, slow pitch softball, watched my uncles play, right? Okay. In the cornfields. And then as I grew up, my sister actually was a softball pitcher. And so I'd run around and chase after her balls that, went flying somewhere when she was throwing. And then that's how it came.
At what point did you realize you were better than your sister?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. In my eyes, I never was. She was my hero, right? So I guess I never even thought about that.
There is something about playing with older kids, older siblings that almost engenders that competitive spirit. It almost amplifies your own ability, right? Because you have to level up at an early age.
Sure.
In high school, your team was an absolute force. You win 3 straight state championships. You go 85-3 during that time. I have to ask, what happened with those 3 losses?
Can you believe that? I know, right? Those are the ones you remember, huh?
I'm totally joking. I mean, that's absolutely incredible. It is interesting. Those are the moments that do stick out. But that had to have been such an amazing time in your life.
It really was. And just, again, the community and how they rallied behind us. And it was something that, everybody invested in. Yeah, it was special. It's like those stories that you see on the sports stories that you get on the movies, right? It really felt like that.
In 1995, you gave up 4 earned runs, not per game, for the entire season. I'm sorry, that is absolutely incredible. By the way, this was after they moved the mound back 3 feet.
Right.
From my understanding, gave you a little bit more flexibility to kind of put some movement on your ball. Mm-hmm. Did the game just feel easy to you?
Yeah, it was just fun. It was fun and felt like what I was supposed to do. And I mean, you got to remember it's a team sport, right? Mm-hmm. So like the group of kids we were together was pretty incredible. And then my uncle was our softball coach.
Okay.
So it was really fun. And then I feel like half the team was like cousins or, so it's neat.
Being a pitcher is such a unique thing in sports. It's a team game, like you mentioned, but in the throes of that game, it's really you one-on-one versus the batter. What's it like to have that ball in your hand on that mound in the ultimate situation like a state championship game?
Wow. It was just pure control. Can you tell him I might be a little bit of a control freak? But to me, pitching has always been a different game than fast pitch. Like it was like a game in and of itself, like rather than being a shortstop or a center fielder or anything, and just being able to have that control. And I don't think I would have played if I wasn't on the mound.
Really?
Yeah.
You just wanted to have that much influence on the outcome.
I did, and I really felt like I could. I did really feel like I was in control of everything that was going on. And if somebody did get a hit or something did happen, that was all on me. It wasn't that they were a great hitter or anything like that, which is not the fact. That's not true, right. But that's how I really felt when I was on the mound.
So did you get nervous at all, or was it?
No, never.
Really? No butterflies?
Never.
Wow.
Yeah, never. I and I get more nervous for doing something like this than I ever did. Put me on the mound in a state championship game or a national tournament, and I'm like, that's where I'm supposed to be.
Was that always the case? I imagine the first time you ever took the mound, that had to have been nerve-wracking, or was it just a natural comfort that you felt?
No, I don't ever feel nerves around sports. It was the same with basketball. It was the same when I played volleyball. I never felt that in that arena. I just excelled. I was very athletic, always, even at a young age. It was a source of confidence for me. I was 6'3" when I was in 8th grade, and that was tough in and of itself. And so that was kind of where I got my confidence.
I should probably have introduced you as Hall of Famer Stephanie Klaviter.
Oh my goodness.
You're in the University of Minnesota Softball Hall of Fame, and top 5 in nearly all of their career pitching stats. What did that honor in particular mean to you?
Man, it's funny. I don't want to downplay any of that, right? To say like that it wasn't important. It's absolutely incredible. And it was very humbling honors. But to me, again, it was just about my teammates and the fact that I was able to have that experience with that community at that moment in time. And I don't know, I don't even think about that stuff.
It's funny when you talk to athletes about legacy and you talk about the things that they miss the most. It is the competition. It is succeeding in that arena. But they almost all universally pine for the bus trips together with the teammates, or those nights laughing in the hotel or having a meal together. What is it about the camaraderie of sport?
Brings us all together, right? We have we share something, right? Even if we didn't play on the same field, we experience the same things by being part of something like that.
Does that apply to you too? Is that what you miss the most about that time of your life, that camaraderie?
I do, yeah, right. And because it's fading.
Yeah.
It's fleeting. It's just a moment in time. And I think, we try and recreate that wherever we go, but you can't quite ever recreate that moment. So it's so special.
You were a big part of the team that won the University of Minnesota's first Big Ten championship in 1999. What do you remember from that time, and what did it mean for you to deliver such a great moment for the program?
Yeah, I would say when I look back at my career there, that probably was one of the biggest highlights for us, because we just could never beat, the Big Blue, the Michigans of the world. And that was a really great moment for the 5 seniors. There's 5 of us, but they called us the Fab Five, and that was our moment.
The idea of putting movement and location on a baseball, just from the physics of it, feels attainable. For some reason, that just connects to me throwing it overhand. How different and perhaps more difficult is it to have that same control and movement with a fast pitch softball?
Right. So I would say that it's a natural arm motion, but just putting the entire movement of the body together on the plane that you're moving on. And it's easier, I feel like, to gain. For me, it was easier to throw hard. It wasn't as easy to get movement on my ball. And so, it's complex, it's beautiful, it's fun, that
raw ability just to throw a ball hard, but the art and the science behind location and strategy, that's got to just be a whole nother level. I imagine you witness with players, that's kind of the differentiator. You have people who can throw fast, but they can't get it where they need it to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they always say a hitter can catch up with anything, right? You can catch up with speed, but the art of being able to spin the ball and with fast pitch softball and getting the ball to spin against gravity and what the pitchers do now with their movement of throwing the ball up and down, and it's so cool to watch. When I watch a game now, just watching that part of it, the intricacies of the movement of the ball, and then somebody being able to try and hit that, and it's really cool.
Is that the big differentiator in the game from from the time when you were playing in college? Is do you notice a big difference in the style of play?
I think just that people know more about it.
Okay.
They're more educated about it. I think that, the pitchers that even came before me were moving the ball and we're throwing it hard and we're changing speeds and doing all that. But it's more of a common language now. I think that just the world is understanding it because it's on TV, because we're able to, talk about it that way. More people are doing it now. So, yeah.
There was a time, I think, a sweet spot, when Jenny Finch got really popular, where the sport got a lot of exposure. It was elevated in profile. Do you feel like we're still making progress in that arena pretty well?
Yeah, absolutely. And each year it's just more and more. I mean, you see a softball game right now, you can turn on any night, and you can turn on, any sports network or ESPN, and you see game going on. And then also, I think that the coaches and the conferences are really advocating and fighting hard for that. It's become a sport, one of the most watched sports on TV right now. What's so amazing to me is that it isn't necessarily always an Olympic played sport, right? Some years it is.
Yeah.
There's always a national teams, but sometimes it's in the Olympics, sometimes it's not. So the college athlete has really become the hero, the person that these girls who are playing it, these young girls are watching and looking up to. So that's super special for our sport, that we've got those heroes. And when Jenny and Michelle Smith and Lisa Fernandez and Kat Osterman and Monica, when they were on the mound, there wasn't as much on TV. It wasn't every day. So definitely so much progress.
You went on to be a very successful pro in the Women's Professional Softball League, including being the championship MVP in 2000 and Pitcher of the Year. Was that around the time you also got connected to Triple Crown Sports?
Gosh, those were fun times.
Yeah.
That was great. That was like another lifetime ago. But yeah, so when I was in the pro league, one of my teammates was from Fort Collins.
Okay.
And we were trying to figure out what we were going to do with our lives, because we were playing pro ball and it was only about 3 months out of the year. And a lot of my teammates were assistants for college programs, graduate assistants. We wanted to still be able to train and then come back and play during the summer. So it was, am I going to go and coach in college? I wasn't sure I wanted that lifestyle. And then, she said, I know this guy in Colorado that I think, he would really love to help us if we wanted to put a business plan together and do some instruction and start an academy or something like that. And so that's what we did. We met Dave King. He's the owner of Triple Crown Sports.
So at that time, did Triple Crown have a fast pitch program? Were you kind of the architect of that?
No, not necessarily the architect. We did have a couple of fast pitch events that we did locally. And we were starting to partner with some groups to maybe have more of a fast pitch division at the company. But at that time, it was still slow pitch and youth baseball that were kind of the drivers of the company. And then my teammate and I, we just kept hanging around, and I think we wore him out. I'm not sure, but we were able to then come in on the ground level of building some really amazing fast pitch events like this Colorado 4th of July event that we host in Aurora.
The Colorado 4th of July tournament has become an absolute premier event, particularly for Aurora. How have you seen it evolve over the years?
Right. I would say it was fractured at first, right? We had the fireworks tournament that was in Aurora. And then we had the sparkler tournament, which we started in Westminster. And then there was another tournament, the Independence Day tournament in Boulder. And we worked together because all the college coaches were able to come out and they had a lot of options to come and watch the kids. And then as the events evolved and our company and our business evolved and grew, we were able to merge the fireworks and the sparkler together to become this just massive festival of fast pitch softball in Colorado every summer.
Did being kind of geographically centrally located lend to the success of the tournament, where, teams from everywhere can kind of converge on the midpoint of the country for an event? Was that advantageous, do you think?
I think so. There isn't a lot of fast pitch around this, mountain region in regards to major national events. Heavily in the West Coast, California, Texas, the Southeast. The Midwest has a great amount of softball. And so like when I was growing up, it was already, Colorado was the place that you would go to get recruited.
Okay.
And then with Triple Crown behind it and just the company behind the event, we were able to put our resources into it and just grow and grow. And it is by far the first event that gets put on a team schedule.
Wow.
And they build their schedule around it. And it's just Colorado. We're going to Colorado. We got to go to Colorado. We want to go to Colorado. And it's an event not just for the player, it's for the coach, it's for the parent, it's for the grandparent, it's for the, the siblings, everybody like just looks forward to their week in Colorado.
Do the players and coaches you interact with today have an understanding of your history as a player and how good of a player you were?
No, none.
They don't?
No, my identity for this event is just I'm the event director. And I think that there are those people that are in the game that were in the game at that time as well. So like college coaches will know that, maybe some club coaches, but no. And coming from New Ulm, Minnesota, I mean, my story wasn't out there in the fast pitch world really. And it was also in the 90s and the early 2000s when we weren't on TV as much. Yeah. So you would have to definitely do some searching to find that out.
I did.
You did. That's incredible.
You have 18,000 competitors that all want to win, but there's a real sense of camaraderie at the event. What is it about fast pitch in general and this event specifically that really fosters that sense of community?
Well, I think that when we set out to run the tournament, there's always this vision in mind of bringing everybody together, and whether it be the companies that produce the equipment that we use, or the college coaches, the youth, any foundations, nonprofits that are in our sport, we try to get out and get involved, and how can we help them, and then also, what are we offering for kids if they're all going to be out here playing ball? And, their goal with coming to the event, I think, originally was a college scholarship, or I want to find a home. I want to keep playing ball for the next, 4 years. I want to be recruited. And now it's also become, I want to maybe learn some more about sports. So they've got camps that are going on, or I, want to buy the latest bat, or I want to get an autograph from, the top college softball player maybe. And I want to see my friends that I met at the tournament last year that are on a team from Alaska or Hawaii. And it's become more about, it's more now. It's not just about the game of softball.
How fulfilling is that? You love this sport, and now you kind of get to serve as a mentor to thousands of kids to a degree. That's got to be incredibly life affirming.
Well, it's neat because I feel like for me, sports in general and then fast pitch really, it gave me so much, right? And so for me to be able to give back, I can't think of another way to be able to give back, and a better way. And then also to the coaches in my life, the mentors. I get choked up about this because, it's
the sacrifice. It's the time, the passion.
And it's it's the opportunities that I'm able to provide through this event and through our company for me personally to be able to give back to that coach that I had, or that mentor that, that invested in my life.
The event brings together the future stars of the sport, along with Olympic and collegiate champions, coaches, umpires, fans. Yeah. You've also got all the corporate sponsors and partners. You got TV coverage, the logistics of all of that.
Yeah.
How can you manage all of that? How do you pull it off?
Oh, it's so fun. It's not me, you're sitting here and you're talking to me with the title as the event director, but really I'm just the glue that pulls everybody together. And there's, we hire with our umpires, there are 600 officials that come out.
Wow.
They run this event for us, right? There are 200 paid staff people that are on site at each one of the locations where we're running games.
Wow.
They run this event. We work with 20 different cities to pull this off, and they host the event as if it was their own.
Yeah.
So they run the event. We've got college coaches that come out and they do camps and they coach all-star games and they support the event. I mean, and they're recruiting, and so they run the event. So for me, it's really just putting all the glue together, and then I get to think about what's the next thing, like what's the next cool thing that we can do. I'm down here today to meet with a bunch of nonprofits in Aurora, and because we want to host a charity golf tournament during the event. And so how can we give back to the community that we're in? How can we give back to our sport? How can we give to some nonprofits? So like, what's that? What's next? That's what I get to do.
One of the important venues for the tournament is the Aurora Sports Park. It's a wonderful newer facility that frankly not enough of our residents and visitors know about or take advantage of. Yeah. What makes that an ideal venue for the tournament?
Right. Well, first and foremost, it's the people that we get to work with there. They're incredible. They do it better than anybody. So to be able to work with them first and foremost, and then the facility itself, having 12 fields in one location, to be able to kind of build a feeling and a hub and an energy with all the those teams there. Again, we use 150 fields from Fort Collins all the way down to Colorado Springs, right?
Yeah.
So we're everywhere, but we use the Aurora Sports Park is our central location. We host things there, not just tournament games, but like MLB comes in and we do junior home run derby. We do an MLB play ball clinic there. The Beautiful Lives Project comes in and we do 2 games with the Beautiful Lives Project at the Aurora Sports Park. So we're able to use the venue there that way. And then, Visit Aurora, the restaurants, the businesses that do come out and do support the event are incredible. And we just, to bring, if somebody else hears about it and then now they can come out. I mean, we want to bring the community out to all these special events that we're running at the sports park as well.
It's incredible. You've turned a childhood passion into a life of tremendous success, and you've given back by providing the sport a platform for thousands to continue thriving in it as well. You've got to feel a sense of pride not only in your playing career, but as a great steward for the growth and health of the sport. Do you feel a responsibility to kind of pass the torch along to future generations?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are people, the women that came before me that laid the groundwork so that I could play the game, so that I could be doing what I'm doing now. And I mean, look at what I get to do. I get to play and I get to be involved in my passion and my sport. A lot of people don't get to do that,
Nope.
right? And so how special is that? If I were to be able to create the opportunity for more young girls to grow up to be women, to be able to do what I'm doing and to love this, that would be a dream.
How do you see this all evolving, both the tournament and your own personal growth as well?
I don't even know.
Just keep elevating the sport, shining a light on it, I imagine?
You just never know. I mean, you never know where we're going to go. And I think as long as we're all open, we're working together, keep our community connected, bring as many people into this event and this community as we can. And the more people that are involved, the more opportunities that there will be. It will always be open and endless.
Triple Crown Sports Tournament Director and Hall of Famer, Stephanie Klaviter. It was amazing to meet you. Congratulations, and thank you for bringing such an amazing event to Aurora.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Learn more about the Triple Crown Sports Colorado 4th of July Tournament at cosparkfire.com, and make sure to follow on Facebook at TCS Fast Pitch and on Instagram at TC Fast Pitch. Thank you for listening to the Gateway to the Rockies podcast. Visit Aurora is the official destination marketing organization for the city of Aurora, Colorado, and acts as the primary liaison between meeting planners and hotel partners. As Aurora's Convention and Visitors Bureau, Visit Aurora's mission is grounded in showcasing Aurora as a premier destination for meetings, business, and leisure travel. Visit Aurora represents more than 75 plus hotel properties with 13,500 plus guest rooms and more than 1 million square feet of meeting space, including Colorado's largest resort, Gaylord Rockies Resort and Convention Center. As Colorado's third largest city, Aurora is located minutes away from Denver International Airport and showcases mountain views, memorable meeting spaces, and 250 plus international eateries that offer a unique experience for each and every visitor. As the gateway to the Rockies, Visit Aurora's role in the local community goes beyond marketing the city as a destination. The Visit Aurora team is here to assist you with your Colorado visit, from facilitating your meeting, event, or convention to helping you discover local flavor and attractions. Go beyond the boardroom in Aurora, Colorado. For more, visit us at visitaurora.com.